we go. All right, so this is the pack that I put together in the company that has a lot of products, but these two products, the one in the middle and the two that are on each side, that's two products. And it's very simple, but very profound on how it's helping to transform people's lives. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And it really is about the self-actualization of the person coming in and getting out of the bottom needs, which are survival, food, clothing, shelter, and living our lives on that level, and really getting up to a life of contribution and impact and purpose and excitement and enthusiasm, and waking up and getting excited out of bed 7 days a week instead of just getting excited on Friday night. So I call it bringing heaven to earth, and it starts with our health. Bringing our health from here to here, because what that does is it changes our attitude. And the more people with an attitude that's worth catching, just because they're putting some products in their body. And that's what this is. That's why I call bringing heaven to earth. This is me. That's over 15 years ago. This is me a couple years ago at 50. I think I was 32 years old right there. Changed my life in every way. And I want to just continue to be a part of this movement that we've created in the world that's helping other people to do that. So what do you know about telomeres? And this is an exciting conversation. It's the most important conversation we could be having. Jimmy Smith, he's taken this telomere support product. He's 80 right here and he's 90 right there. And if you can't tell the difference, I mean, you know, maybe you might need glasses because he looks a lot younger, 10 years older chronologically. Physiologically, it looks like he went backwards. So we call it youthful aging, turning back the clock. So telomeres are the caps on the ends of our chromosomes. They protect our DNA that's inside the chromosome. So if you look at this rope, this is a chromosome, this is the telomere. The telomere is like the duct tape on the end that holds the DNA together inside. And think of DNA like software. And as the telomere degenerates, we're losing DNA. We're losing software that runs the cells. Every symptom of aging and every degenerative disease has been linked to that. So the catalyst is really keep the telomere healthy, and we wouldn't experience a life of degeneration, the symptoms of aging and the degenerative diseases that go along with it. As the telomere gets shorter and shorter, the worse our health is, the worse we are physiologically. Every symptom of aging and every degenerative disease has been linked to that, whether it's cancer, Parkinson's, diabetes, ALS, lupus, thyroid, Alzheimer's, diabetes, osteoporosis. Every single one of them are related to this and will die when we lose enough DNA. Now, here's the thing. We know the body can heal itself. And Bill Andrews, the geneticist who I was introduced to and did a presentation with in Reno out there with John and Malcolm. We did the presentation together on Thursday night, 2 nights ago. And so I was mentored by Bill. He's being featured in Popular Science here. 14-page article just on him and his research. See, he knew the body could heal itself and was wondering, why is the chromosome not healing itself? And he identified the problem. It's with a gene that produces this enzyme called telomerase. In 1994, on a molecular level, he identified that gene. By 1997, he activated it in his lab with human skin cells. And this is the repairing mechanism in the chromosome. It should never get here. This guy should never get here. The body has an innate ability to heal itself. And so if we never got here, we would never experience this. Well, when he activated that enzyme in human skin cells in a petri dish, cultured in a petri dish, the chromosome and the DNA, the telomere repaired itself. That would be akin to this guy repairing all of his chromosomes and his DNA, all of it repairing like the human skin cells just did in his lab. Physiologically, he would get better. It would reverse the damage, and we would see that, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. Well, that's what the Nobel Prize winning research is, and they were able to do that. Harvard piggybacked off of Bill's research. He shared his knowledge with them, and they did it in mice about a decade later, and then the Nobel Prize was given because they saw this happen to the mice. And so really what we're seeing is this is more of a man-made problem. We're shortening our telomeres faster than we ever have. It's called accelerated telomere shortening. We really should be living an optimal, healthy life until the day we die. So if we're on this program, nutritionally speaking, and destroying this is a lack of nutrition, a lack of supporting the innate ability to heal itself on a chromosome level, then this is what it looks like. And that's now happening to pre-teenagers because we're shortening the telomeres so fast. They're getting osteoporosis. People are ending up in full-time assisted living centers now in their 40s. And so if we're on this program and then we start supporting the body like this is what you would see happen. Now, this is a video that Bill and I did together where he's endorsing this presentation that I put together. It's basically what I learned from him. He said, Dave, that's the best presentation I've ever seen to make something really complicated easy to understand. Now, I'm not going to show this video here for time's sake, but what happened, why the Nobel Prize was given in 2009 around telomeres, because when they activated this enzyme in the mice, just like Bill did with the human skin cells, they saw the DNA repair in the mice. Now this time it's not human skin cells in a petri dish, it's living, breathing mammals like you and me. They develop the same diseases that we do. Osteoporosis, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, cancer, Alzheimer's. These mice had Alzheimer's. And when they activated this enzyme and the DNA repaired, the mice actually reversed everything. Even how old they looked. These mice are the same age chronologically. This one had the degenerative issues, and now it doesn't because the DNA was restored. The cells started operating optimally, kind of like a computer. When it's you're losing software, it starts to act up, you take it in, they restore the software, get rid of the viruses, restore the software, and the computer works perfect. That's essentially what their bodies did. It's a perfect analogy or parallel. And that's not science fiction, that's real. This is real living, breathing mammals. And that's why it was given the Nobel Prize right after this happened. They saw what happened on a molecular level and they saw what happened on a physical level. And the mice became more active, everything. So Bill Andrews, though, in the meantime, wasn't concerned about the mice. He was trying to find compounds that you and I could consume to support that enzyme. And from 1994 to 2009, they had tested over 304,000 compounds. They're the only lab in the world that can do this. They found 8, and these little markers right here are the clinical, basically, that they did working with the procedures they do in the human skin cells. So this is essentially what happened to the mice. These are the markers for that. But the compounds they used were chemicals. So long story short, John Anderson, world-renowned nutritional formulator, a genius, the way he formulates is proprietary to him, just like the way Bill Andrews in his lab does this is proprietary to them. Nobody else can do this. And so they came together. John learned about telomeres and telomerase and what Bill was trying to accomplish here. And he said, oh my goodness, had I known this, I would have formulated for this a long time ago. Let's write up a contract. I'll start sending you formulations based on what I learned from you. And in 15 tries, he got that. In 30 tries, he got that. In 120, he got these 7, all from natural ingredients tested by Bill Andrews. These are the markers with the human skin cells. Bill Andrews said this will change the landscape of human health. I got a call directly from Bill when John sent over some formulations that did this in 2012. That ended up in our product in 2013. Well, now we're way past that. What we're currently taking has a lot of markers in it, all from natural ingredients. And John just found this one that he texted me a picture of that's more powerful than anything that's in the bottle right now. So the bottom line is the results. It's quality of life. Dr. Robert Watine out of Florida has put over 400 patients on it. He was in the news. You're like, well, why isn't this in the news? It is in the news, but the news doesn't mark it. They just report, and then 2 weeks later, everybody forgets about it. Well, I haven't forgot about that, what Dr. Robert Watine said. He said, I put over 400 patients on it, and they're all getting better. And he says, there's no such thing as the fountain of youth, but there is such thing as quality of life. And this is what it's producing for my patients. And so it's all natural, can't make any claims around curing anything. The FDA would shut us down as a nutritional company. We're not going to do that. We're just supporting the body nutritionally, like Hippocrates said. Let your food be your medicine. Let it give your body what it needs, and it will heal itself. And so nobody can heal the body. The body heals itself. But we cannot make any claims around curing any illnesses or diseases, and I'm not going to. But I am going to show you some observationals. This is Dick, his body was having a hard time, kind of like the one mouse, right? He was having a hard time, put the product in his body. He's 82 here, he's 83 here, he's 87 here. That's what good nutrition will do for the body. Allow it to have positive results. Because why? the body has an innate ability to heal itself. And this was formulated for the body to be supported on a level it's never been supported before. Telomeres. You've learned something new probably now. You have something called a telomere. It plays a very important role. It has an innate ability to be healthy. It's called telomerase. And that's why this was formulated. And it was because these two minds came together. This is Dick at 89 years old. A lot of you have met him. And he's living a normal, carefree, fun life at 80. He's about to turn 90. Bob Sheridan was sent home from the hospital. There was nothing they could do. They didn't know. They didn't get the information. They said, just go home. You should have came in sooner. If we operated on you, you would die on the table. Your body's falling apart. It wouldn't withstand the surgery. This guy's famous in the boxing world. He's known as the Colonel. I've done 2 meetings in his home. Here he is in December 2011. Here he is 6 months later, back to work. He's being interviewed by Fight News, and they're like, what in the world happened? You were just in critical condition. Bob talks about the product in the interview. He actually got permission from the Boxing Federation to share this product with the athletes. Here he is in 2012, sitting at home in his recliner. He's still working. He's still announcing boxing matches. He's living a normal, carefree life. And he's in his 80s. The last interview, he said, I feel like I can go on announcing for another 20 years. This is Minnie, was very health challenged. You can see her posture not doing so good here. Well, it's doing better here. She's 80 here. She's 83 right here. Her chin used to be stuck to her chest because of her posture. Now she stands straight up and she's normal conversations and living a fully active life. So, this product is nutrition. How often do you want to, and how long do you want to be putting good nutrition into your body that's supporting it on this level? Forever. That's why we call it the Forever Pack. This is Karen, another one who was in dire situation. She had already turned in the paperwork to the funeral home. She learned about telomeres. She came to a meeting that I did in Vegas, invited by Malcolm, and here she is 2 days later. She got some pills from somebody that night. This is 48 hours later. This is 72 hours later. This is 1 month later, 2 months later, riding horses now, back to a normal, carefree life. 6 months later on Facebook. 2 years later, she texted me this one. The funeral home called in December because she was not supposed to live past the holidays. And they called in December and said, where's her body? We were expecting it by now. And her daughter said, oh, she decided to live. She's actually in the kitchen right now baking cookies. Carefree, normal life. Kathy, who may be on this Zoom right now, she said, age is just a number. It is. Chronologically speaking, age is just a number. This is 2012, this is 2016. 4 years later at 69 years old, 70 years old. This is Dr. Bill Andrews right here, the geneticist. He's an ultra marathon runner. And when he was at the presentation, he talked a little bit about this race. There were runners in their 20s that didn't even get past the first peak. It's at 18,000 feet. It's 138 miles long, and you run it without sleeping. You have to get to the finish line in less than 60 hours. He did it in 50 hours and 51 minutes. He's the oldest person still to this day. That's when he was 60 years old. He's 68. He just turned 68. And he's crushing the world record for a 100 and something mile run at 70 years old. He can't wait till he turns 70 because he's crushing the world record, and he's running faster now than he ever has because of the way he's supporting his body. His wife Molly did the same race. She's the first female and the 7th person to finish that 138 mile race at 18,000 feet. And she tried it 2 years earlier without the product and didn't make it. I love this picture by Jill. Here she is in 2011. Here she is in 2020. I think she's 61 right here because I've been saying she's 60 for a while. She might be 61 right here. And in case you're thinking that's a glamour shot, no, this is her Facebook post just yesterday or Thursday. I pulled this off of Facebook. There's Dr. Dunsky. There's Dr. Paul Arciero, who did our clinicals. That's one of her friends. That's Travis Ogden, one of our CEOs. There's Cal. I know all these people. And there she is, 42. There she is at 60, right? Youthful aging. It's amazing. Chantel had issues with her back. Now she's hiking, boating, helping her husband with his flooring business. No way she could have done these things. She said, I was getting 0 sleep that night. And then she wouldn't even talk about the product until after a month and a half when her issues went away. My daughter, my son, just athletes, people who had trauma, it's addressing everything because it's supporting every cell in the human body. Benny's arm was stuck for 4 years after a car accident. Now he's playing the piano and speaking in sentences. It's absolutely a miracle, miracle of the human body. So there's telomeres. That's the long and short of it. Do you want long telomeres or short? Well, let me give you a hint. Bill says when telomeres get short, bad things happen. So do you want long telomeres or short? If you answer long and you're really confident about that, you know pretty much more than anybody on the planet. I mean, including the healthcare professionals. They're like, you're on what? What's a telomere? So it's all natural. That's a month's supply. Doesn't even have a child-proof cap. Grab my bottle here. My granddaughter at 2 years old opened it and spilled them all on the floor. So you take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. No child-proof cap. That says a lot. All right, so the rest of the forever pack is you are what you eat, and what we're eating today is killing us, even when it comes to our produce. They find pesticides in them. They don't have the adequate amount of minerals. Same thing with organic. That might shock you, shock and awe, right? They can still spray even USDA certified organic with pesticides, just not as long. So guess what's in them? Pesticides. Pesticides are poison. It's part of the problem. And they don't have the adequate amount of minerals in them. That's not what organic means. So people are paying a lot of money for something that's not much better than non-organic. It is better, just not much better. And if it's a problem, Houston, we have a problem because organic is the best you can get in the grocery store, but it falls short. And then it just gets worse from there. So replacing one meal, could it change your life? Absolutely. If it's this meal right here, and I could just sum it up and we could be done by saying, look, the mind that made this, which 40 researchers in Bill's lab couldn't do in over 10 years, is the same mind that made this. And he formulated for over 600 companies. John Anderson did. And over 2,500 health products. Everybody compromised the products. He said, I never got this to the consumer. He had to start his own company. And he did it with the help of Jim and Kathy Coover. And they had a vision so big that they said, now it's bigger than us. These transformations that are happening, that's not us. That's a divine, power that's doing that. We know we've been prepared all our whole lives to create this company and change lives on the level that we are. And so this was made in 2002. No company ever let him make this. He had to start his own company. That product changed my life in 2005, and it tastes amazing. So here I was doing what everybody else does, that's trying to lose weight and eating right. I wouldn't even call this a diet. That should be a lifestyle. Supplementing and eating healthy whole foods. But it wasn't working for me. I was just getting hangry. And what I learned is one bowl of spinach gives you enough iron for a week back in 1953. But in 2007, it takes 51 bowls of spinach. Iron is a very important essential mineral. And it's not just spinach and it's not just iron, it's minerals across the board. They've declined. They're not in our soil in the adequate amounts anymore. Study after study shows it. It's because they started spraying pesticides in the 1940s. They killed the bacteria in the soil that would turn a rock mineral into a water mineral. If the bacteria is not there, then you're pulling the minerals out and they're not being replenished. And the toxicity that's inside the fruits and vegetables, that's the dirty dozen. Apples, celery's always at the top. Spinach, kale, and collard greens, I thought those were really healthy because they tasted terrible. They have pesticides in them and they're missing the minerals. Houston, we have a problem. And most people are eating this, which makes their body go very acidic. It's called acidosis. Now, not only are you not giving your body what it needs, it's pulling the minerals out of your organs and your bones. And your bones and organs need those minerals. It's called acidosis. Anytime you drop below 7.0 on the pH scale, your body's pulling the minerals. It's robbing them from your bones and organs. So you want to be pH balanced. How do you get there? Minerals. Eating fruits and vegetables and this stuff, good luck. You're not going to get there. That's why John Anderson created this. He's known as the mineral man by his colleagues. You only need about 90 nutrients to get pH balance, get alkaline. It's called homeostasis. There's over 200 in this. We could make food worse. You could also make it better. It has its own delivery system in it. This is better than any food you could put on a plate. I don't even care if you're growing it yourself. How can I say that? Because our clinicals have proven it. In fact, I'm going to put the little clinical studies right here for the next presentation. I don't show them in here, but we've ended up in peer-reviewed medical journals like PubMed, the most distinguished. as an outlier. They've never gotten any macro diet, getting all your macros right with whole food. They haven't even come close to doing what this is doing. This is whole food, and it's condensed, and it gets you to alkalinity in about 5 to 7 days, which changes your appetite, but it also changes your results. Look what it did for me in 25 days. 25 days with no exercise. Then I started exercising, that's 4 months. From here to here is 4.5 months. That was in 2005. I released 53 pounds. We have over 700 people documented with their pictures on the wall. 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and even 500 pounds. And we have way more than 700, but 700 are documented right on the wall with their pictures. And Guillermo, you're gonna be there any day now. He's at over 85 pounds in 6 months. And his wife's at over 40 pounds. And then this came out in 2011, turned back the clock in my sales and took me back to my junior and high school wrestling weight. And I'm in better shape here than I was when I was 16. My whole family, my grandkids, we're all 3 generations now, good nutrition. Delavine knows what that cup looks like. She's associated with what her body loves inside that cup. And she freaks out when she sees the cup that sits on the blender. So let's take this meal and compare it to one shake. Negative, it's gonna make you go into acidosis and rob the body. More than enough, too many calories, low calorie, high, minimal amount, maximum calories, no nutrition. Minimal calories, maximum nutrition. This meal was $8.47 in 2007 when I made it. Today it's $10.50 before tax. Ours is less than $3. The average person saves $100. Most people aren't average though. Most people go to Starbucks or have some kind of stimulant they need during the day, sugar, whatever. If you get rid of those addictions, what's the extra cost? So let's take the whole Forever Pack, 1 month. What's it gonna cost you every day compared to that meal every day? It's less than $5.50. It's half the cost of that meal. People eat that meal every day, and it comes out to $315 a month. This every day is $164 every month. It's a no-brainer. Just as a meal replacement, you're gonna save money if you love how it tastes and it satisfies you, but the added benefits, there's no comparison. There's a movement. This is a movement, you guys. I haven't dedicated my life to selling a product, making money. I dedicated my life to the movement that we've created. And I've even created a website behind this movement. It's called foreverpack.com. Watch this science in 22 minutes, and it's just the science. So it's easy to understand, simple to do, real science, saves money, the results are unprecedented, and it saves you money, right? All of that's there. All of it's there. It's a lifestyle. Healthy people do healthy things every day. This is the highest level of principle of health that you could live. These are unparalleled products supporting the telomere and supporting you nutritionally. There is nothing else like it on the planet, clinically based, right? Proven. So you're spending money already on things every month, your car payment, your cell phone, your utility bill, your groceries. This is just a portion of your groceries, 1 meal. And it's half the cost of a meal if you're buying that meal every day. And the company just eliminated the $29 wholesale membership. This is the wholesale price. They eliminated the $29 membership. Everybody gets to sign up for free now and still gets the wholesale membership. So we need to spread the word. We need to tell people. And the company gives us bonuses and has incentivized the growth and getting this information out. Share it with 2 people in your first month. They get on the Forever Pack. The company will give you $120 cash. And they'll pay you 6% now because you're a consultant. Sponsoring 2 customers who don't even have to pay the membership, they just get the product, will allow you to get paid a passive residual income. Food is consumable. Gas in your car, it's consumable. You have to keep buying more. With groceries, it's the same way. I don't know any one of you that isn't paying a grocery budget every month. Well, now you can get paid a passive residual income off of people buying their groceries. And they didn't have to pay the membership. So now if they do the same thing, they get $120. They get a passive residual income because they just hit consultant, and you're getting paid 6% on everybody's orders. As a consultant, you get paid 6% on everybody's order. I'm getting paid 6% from people that are still ordering the products from 14 years ago. And they'll also give you $450 bonus in cash for a total of $570 to teach them to do the same thing. It's called the power of two. Through the power of two, we could change the world, you guys, literally. With these products and the power of two, we can change the world. And there's this little thing going around right now. It's called the flu, right? Bill Andrews says, I have not seen anything even come remotely close to supporting your immune system like the isogenesis does. And so it's very important that we have a very strong immune system all the time, especially now. So if everybody just shared it with 2 people, we would create a passive residual income off of the 6% that you're getting paid on everybody. So I'm going to do the math for you. Everybody's ordering the Forever Pack. You get paid 6%. So how much would you be making at the 13th level? It caused me not to sleep for 3 nights in a row when I realized all of this. And this changed our lives right here, not the 13th level, level 7. That made me more than I was getting paid on my paper route. I got up at 4:30 every morning. This one right here replaced my income at work. I was picked up by a limo on the service drive at the Honda dealership. I jumped in the limo and I never went back. I do go back though to have them change the oil in my car. Right here, this is what excites me the most. Yeah, this is exciting, and this has allowed me and my family to live a dream life, to go to the schools they want to go to do the things we want to do. But this is what keeps me going. I get to keep doing this to people's lives. Somehow I'm a catalyst when I share the information with people that I don't even know. But I get to hear the stories, and then I do get to know them. Well, right here, it'd be $54,000 a month in passive residual income. Because you're getting paid 6% every time somebody orders the product. Every time, on everybody. It's amazing. So that's purchasing power. And we've created 309 millionaires now. And Walmart has not created 1 millionaire out of their customers. We've created 309. So this is the life I used to live. And this was, if I had to give everything back that I've gotten from Isagenix and I could only keep one thing, it would be the health that it provided for me. The way that I feel up here and how I feel and how I get to live my life based on being healthy, energetic, enthusiastic. If I had to give everything back and could only keep one, I would take my health back in a heartbeat. There would be no question. But I don't have to give any of it back. And I can spread it. I can spread it and help other people to do the same thing. And they are. There's over 331,000 people in my organization, not the company, in my organization. And our life has completely evolved as a result of partnering up with Isagenix. I just shared it at night after I got off work as a mechanic, and then I'd do it on the weekends. And then I replaced my income, started doing it full time. We moved into our dream home. We went on a safari last year. We went to Disneyland for a week, and then we went to Europe for 10 days. That's the kind of life we get to live now. We get to do what we want when we want for as long as we want. And it didn't used to be like that. And who is that for today? Anybody that wants it. Robert Kiyosaki calls it the business for people who like helping people. So let's help people self-actualize and just hamster wheel up here, where the life is amazing for you and everybody else that you invite up here. So just get back with the person that got you here. They'll help you to get started. They take the order, they get your information. We eliminated the $29 membership that used to be right here. I had to wipe that out, and it's $164. That's a month's supply. You just have to decide which flavors you want. You don't have to share it with anybody, but if you want to, there's the reminder right there. And I did it. 30 minutes. Awesome. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. And